sometimes we even know that we're supposed to love ourselves. Because the reason I asked that question is because I grew up with low self-esteem. And it was like one day, I read that scripture, love thy neighbor as you love yourself. And it let me know that I had to love me. I'm supposed to love me. And in loving myself, I, can feel, show more love to others. But do you think everybody knows that you're supposed to love yourself? Some people don't know that.
But
it's hard to love yourself when you don't know yourself.
It's a natural movement to love yourself. However, it's what you're taught about self. I've gone over these scriptures before. Psalm something. Born in sin, shaped in iniquity. Man's days is but a few, and he headed for hell. He's got sin nature. How can you love that? We don't love that. There's no way. So when we're taught this all of our life, that we are filthy rags, and make sure I get that one in there.
Depression inside.
Filthy rags in the sight of God. Your best, it's a scripture that says your best is a filthy rag in the sight of God.
Heard it all my life.
Heard me too.
Yeah.
All my life. This is what I heard.
Now, if you have an idea, if that's the idea of what you are, you can't love yourself.
You're not going to love it. But then the church says, but you can be saved by Jesus, and what he'll do
By
is...
his works.
Yeah.
By his works and words.
And then what Jesus will do is he'll cover it up. So you really haven't dealt with the stuff that people told you, but it's covered up.
Right. I'm a Christian now, so I'm covered.
Right. All of this, well, then they say, well, now this is the part that gets me. Then they say Jesus came and wiped all my sins away.
So well, they have all fear, depression, and anxiety,
yeah,
and all these things working, and they say all my sins are gone.
But now my question is, if he wiped it all away, how do we come back again and then say the same thing? If Jesus wiped it away, how can I then tomorrow come back and say, I'm a filthy rag in the sight of God? Because that's just like putting it back in there again.
So it's like going -5 to 0, -5 to 0.
We always believe God can get us out the ditch. He can move my feet from the miry clay, the muck in the mire, all this. We can be lifted up out of that. Well, God, what about my finances? Can I just stop making bills now and get me a business and be a millionaire?
Move forward.
Wait a minute, man. You gonna serve God? You gonna serve mammon? It's almost like and I read that scripture yesterday. I think it was at World Overcomers, the church.
Serve God, man.
Yeah, you're gonna serve God, man. But this scripture was the one where it said that we will be saved by Jesus will save us from the wrath of God. Whoa! Yeah, that's what I said too. I said, well, at least it's a well-founded teaching because it's in the Bible. But then the people that teach it are not thinking about what they're saying.
Right.
We need Jesus to save us from God. Ooh. Wait a minute. Hold on. But that's what it says. Jesus is going to save us from the wrath of God to come. It's in the scripture. I had to find it. It's in there because we read it. They read it yesterday.
I mean, that's a complete theology because the wages of sin is death, and we all committed sin, so we all deserve to die, and that's going to die to the wrath of God. But if we get saved by Jesus, then so that's the traditional theology.
But now think about this. The whole time Jesus was here, his teaching was trying to get us to get rid of the idea of separation from God and to get the idea of unification with God so that we can be who all we can be.
I wish we could find that scripture where he said, you don't believe I'm it because you don't believe you are.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
It's in John somewhere, right here where we had somewhere around.
Yeah, and y'all look at John 14 again. I mean, that whole chapter, and funny, we're going to go out of that today. John 14, he did a whole thing. He kept talking about look. Yeah, I think you might be talking. No, that's not. So he said, and I will pray, look at the 16th, and I will pray the Father, he shall give you another comfort. Again, this is Jesus trying to comfort his disciples about what's about to happen. And he says, but ye, that he may abide with you forever, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him. Wait a minute. You gonna send somebody, but I already know him. Hold it. Wait a minute. What you talking about, Jesus? God is gonna send somebody. See, this is why we had to get rid of the idea of separation. Because the way the church would have us, I mean, the way our traditional theology would make it seem is that God is in some faraway place and he's going to send us somebody. But Jesus says here, but you know him and he dwelleth in you. Wait a minute. Hold it. He's going to send him from some faraway place, but he's already in me.
Already in you.
Jesus was trying to tell us, God is already here. He never went anywhere. And shall be in you. He dwelleth in you and shall be in you.
How could you be without him?
Couldn't be without him. Look, man, John is good. And then in the 20th verse, he said, at that day, see, Jesus was saying, when I take the training wheels off, and you have to ride that bicycle without training wheels, you're going to realize that you had the power to ride that bike the whole time. It just had to be revealed to you. Mm-hmm. And what he's doing here in this text is revealing to them who they really are.
That's what it is.
The power to heal, it lies in each one of us. And notice that Jesus, anytime somebody got healed, he never said what he did.